Ishara, the sign beneath the skin. Not every wound bleeds red. This explores what Ishara means. The unspoken signs of human suffering, the gestures before collapse, and the coded language of the broken. Life in Kampala is an uphill struggle, with relentless heat and the daily fight for survival. We recognize this shared struggle as the hustle, a suffering with a clear cause and solution. But there's another kind of heat, the silent pressure inside the soul, sorrow that folds inward, unspoken because admitting it feels like failure. This hidden suffering is the true heat beneath many lives. I, a public health professional, learned to read emotions beyond numbers. In a health center waiting room, I saw a young woman, Sarah, holding her child. Her stillness was unsettling, her posture tense, jaw tight. Most saw a tired mother, but I saw a complete blockage, gripping on out of fear she might fall apart. That was Ishara. Ishara is the nonverbal acknowledgement that someone isn't okay, an unseen wound beneath a smile. It's the body's attempt to convey what words cannot. A subtle trembling before despair transforms into action. I also knew Stephen, a businessman whose frenetic energy masked profound anxiety. His ambition was an exhausting form of Ishara, a trauma response misinterpreted as success. He eventually took his own life, leaving only silence and questions. Our culture often provides harmful reasons for hidden sorrow, self-blame as overthinking, or accusations of a curse. Both close the door to healing, leading to criminalization and isolation for those struggling. I've learned that invisibility kills gradually. Stigma, sin, or weakness. These are misunderstandings that teach a child asking for help is criminal. Survivors of suicide attempts are often condemned, not cared for. Ishara isn't about death, but a terrible misunderstanding. The law presumes intent where there is despair, control where there is breakdown. Our language itself, using committed suicide, becomes an accomplice to stigma. Ishara lives in the moments before action. The shaky hand, the prolonged pause, the ripped pages. These are desperate SOS signals from isolated islands. Effective intervention is founded on empathy, not judgment. Ignoring Ishara perpetuates trauma. Mental health receives under 1% of Uganda's national health budget. A policy statement that says, "We will not fund human survival." My own struggle with a stutter was my first Ishara. My sister's death from a preventable disease was our society's Ishara, systemic neglect. My voice is to advocate for the invisible and unheard. We must learn to recognize these signs, to translate the language of shame into the clinical language of trauma. Ishara is never solely an individual issue. It reflects a community in distress, cruel laws, and a broken economy. This book is dedicated to understanding suffering. Ishara calls us to notice the quieter, more subtle signals. It reminds us that suffering is not a crime, desperation is not a sin, and empathy is essential. Look for the signs, for Ishara, and refuse to look away.